Hello again, everyone. Deflex here for But Fair Gaming. This is going to be a video on the tank tier list. I want to get into a few things on the tanks for the upcoming Dragonflight. So I'm going to make some predictions based upon their talent trees, based upon their tier sets, because you can't make predictions right now on damage or really survivability because they are still tuning all that. They'll be tuning up until pretty much launch day. So based on what we know so far, based on how the trees are, because they said they're done working on the trees for a while, they need to tune a lot of this, that you can have an idea on what is going to be pretty good and what's going to be better than others. Now, that being said, every tank is still going to be viable. There's not going to be a tank you can't play. You're still going to be able to play them all. If you're looking, you say you really enjoy Guardian Druid, or say you really enjoy Prot Warrior, or say you really enjoy Brewmaster, play that one. They're all going to be fine to play. You're all going to be able to do damage with them. There isn't going to be a tank that is unviable. Some will do higher keys than others, but based on what we've seen this season, every tank is doing, I think, 27s, 28, somewhere in there right now. So every tank is still viable. It's just if you're pushing the very highest of keys, someone will do it a little easier than others. But enjoying what you're playing is much more important than going out and playing the meta. If you want to play the meta, you won't know what the meta is going to be until everything is fine-tuned and the release has happened. So we can check back later with that, but we have some strong predictions on what is going to be good at the start. And as long as they don't really do anything crazy with the tuning and nerf these into the ground. So I will start with this season's king. This season's everyone wanted to play. Everyone was after. Everyone was looking to play meta because they were so overpowered. They were really good, and that is BDK. BDK was just phenomenal this season. They did a crazy amount of HPS. Like, there's ones where people are hitting 35k HPS. Just absurd for another tank to try and keep up with that. So they'll still be good. They will still be good. That is going to be one thing. Their talent tree is really well laid out. There's a lot of cool features in their talent tree. You can go still have A-bomb limb because that's in your just regular Death Knight tree. You'll have, you know, Purgatory. You can get some Bloodshot. Like, there's a lot of good talents to pick up for BDK. Their tier set also is going to do pretty decent. When a Bone Shield charge is consumed, you have a 20% chance to generate one rune. After 10 Bone Shield charges are consumed, you gain 10% damage and haste for 10 seconds. So for 10 seconds, you will get a bunch of damage and haste. It is going to be really good for their tier set. It's nothing that's going to change your gameplay drastically, so it's not really going to go crazy out there, but it will be very effective. You are going to lose out on having Dancing Rune Weapon up every single pack, though. So it is going to come down a little bit. So on the tier list, they are going to start this list off in A. They're going to be a very good tank. They're still going to be very viable. They are going to be really fun if you enjoy that aspect of doing high HPS, high DPS. They're going to be just a tank that is a solid, rounded, well thought out tank. So if you like BDK, definitely play your BDK. My personal favorite, the one I will be maining this season, is going to be Vengeance Demon Hunter. They got a lot of cool stuff. They have had some changes in it, though, which it's not going to be the worst, but it has had some changes. So in their talent tree, it was going to be crazy overpowered, so they had to make some modifications already. But, you know, as a Vengeance Demon Hunter, you're getting access to darkness. You're going to have darkness on a 3-minute cooldown, which is phenomenal. So you are getting a few more things. And once I have the max points, I'll actually be going down here to get, you know, Last Resort and Elysian Decree. So you'll have Elysian Decree. The boon Dark Glare has changed a bit, so it's not as RNG. 20 to 40% chance of its cooldown and refunds 20 to 40 Fury. So a little bit of RNG. not that big, but it is still going to be very, very good. You know, frailty's coming in, so you know you can make a spirit bomb build, which would be kind of the same playstyle we're playing right now, but they are going to be tankier on tankier. With the you're going to have a lot more demon spikes. Demon spikes going to be up a ton. It's going to reduce a lot more damage. It's not going to fall off as quick. There's a whole bunch of things to demon spikes that it's just going to help out with your survivability. So demon spikes will be a great option to have up most of the time. So there's definitely ones in here you can pick. Feed the demon if you like. So it's going to be fun. Demon Hunter is going to be fun this expansion. They're going to do a ton. Their tier set, you know, the 2-set bonus, sheer fraction, deal 20% more damage, generate 20% more fury, and have 15% chance to, you know, generate an extra soul fragment. And spirit bomb and soul cleave have a 12% chance to do 50% more damage and cause a target they hit to deal 15% less damage to you for 8 seconds. Crazy that how good that sounds. It is just going to be fun playing Vengeance this season. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a blast just sitting. I mean, the Night Fae ability, the hunt, is just fun to have on Vengeance. So it's going to be a great class to play. If you're thinking of playing a tank and you haven't tanked before, I'm going to recommend Vengeance. It's going to be a ton of fun. So Vengeance is actually going, I predict it to be S tier right now. It is going to be really fun to play as long as the tuning stays the same. And again, you're just predicting on the tuning because the tuning isn't done yet. So we're just having a guess. If the tuning's done correctly, Vengeance will be really amazing. And you can see the random proc, how much or fury you get back at the end too. So BDH is going into the first slot in the S tier. Going to be a great tank in Dragonflight. A lot of people are still trying to determine what the best tank's going to be, and they're trying to do that based on the PTR and the beta and everything, trying to figure out, oh, well, this one's going to be really good, this one's going to be really good, this one's going to be really good. But you're really not sure yet. If you're just going for top damage, you really can't tell because they are tuning, and they'll be tuning all the way up until day of release, basically. So basing it on what's doing the most damage currently really doesn't matter, because Guardian Druid has already been nerfed because their damage was insane. It was just broken. So it's hard to judge on damage alone. That's why I'm trying to judge on tier sets and bonuses and all that in their talent trees. So coming up on the next one is the Monk. The Monk has, it's not like a crazy tier set they get, you know. 2-set, hitting an enemy with Tiger Paw or spinning crane kick grants Brewmaster Rhythm, increasing damage dealt, reducing damage taken by 1% for 10 seconds, can stack 4 times. So theoretically you'll have this up the majority of the fight. Breach stack of Brewmaster Rhythm, Purifying Brew clears 3% more damage delayed with stagger. So Purifying Brew does 3% with each stack, so that will be up to 12%. It clears more. So it's kind of, it doesn't change the way you play. Like, it's not going to make any crazy game changing decisions, but it's just nice to have. They have access to a ton of brews in the talent tree. There's a fire breathing build you can go with the Dragonfire brew. It's going to be a lot of fun to play Brewmaster. They're going to have more of a fire build, so you'll just be breathing more fire on people. Breath of Fire is going to come into play a little bit more. It doesn't change the way you play it, not a whole lot, but it is going to come up a little more with the Breath of Fire. But you do have all the brews still. Like, you have a ton of defensive Fortifying Brew, you have Black Ox Brew, you have the Celestial Brew, you have Healing Elixir, you're going to have Purifying Brew. Sorry, that was a hard one to get out. It's just going to be a ton of brews, a ton of healing. They should do pretty good damage with this breath build. I know some of it was doing crazy damage, so I don't know whether it's going to get tuned differently. But it is going to be good to play Monk as well. Like, their tank is looking pretty solid as of right now. If you're a Monk main or you enjoy Monk, definitely check it out, because yeah, having that tier set Having the builds you can do with the monk, I think will be very, very good. I'm gonna put monk was a tough one. There, it doesn't really change much. Like you're not getting anything where it's gonna change your gameplay, but I think it's gonna be a really solid pick. Probably just behind BDK because BDKs are just BDKs. they do a ton of self healing, so that's the way they're played. That's the way they need to be. I think it's just gonna be behind them. We now have brought Paladin. Prop Paladin. I'm not totally loving the way their all their stuff is going with their tier set and their Dragonflight tree. It's okay, but I don't know. They are gonna get res, combat res, so that'll be nice. They'll have it with the Druid and the BDK. They'll all have a battle res. Am I loving the way their tier set is? No, I don't love their tier set. I don't know. They're in a rough spot right now. I think they're not. They might be the worst off, maybe. They're definitely not in a good spot. I don't think their talent tree was done overly fantastic. I think it's going to be subpar compared to the other tanks. If you love Prop Paladin, will you still be able to play one? Absolutely. They still do. You'll still do some pretty decent damage as always because they always do good damage. They'll still should have some sustainability. You're not going to pull off numbers like a BDK or a Vengeance Demon Hunter by any means, but your talent tree it's decent. It's okay. It's not great, but it's there. There's some things you can pick that'll change, like getting Divine Tolls all the way on the bottom right, which kind of sucks because there's some things I don't really need, I guess, to get there, but that's where it's going to be. Their tier set is Avenging Shield grants you versatility of light, increasing your versatility of you and your close ally by 4% for 4 seconds, so you get 4% verse into your tier set, and then the other one extends the duration of it by a second. So their tier set sucks. it's not the worst tier set out of the tanks. That one's coming up, but it's not good. So based on the tier set, based on their talent tree that's kind of lackluster, unfortunately, Prop Pally, I have down in C. They're not in a great spot. Their tier set kind of just is lackluster. I don't know. I was kind of disappointed in the tier set. 4% verse is really not much. But that's where they're sitting right now. That tier set could get tuned and it could go to 10%, which, okay, that would bump it up a bit. But right now it's pretty low and they are not in a great spot currently compared to the other tanks. Speaking of tanks not in a good spot, it wouldn't be talking about Prop Warrior because whoever made this expansion did one hell of a job. They are going to jump from... they were coming along in Season 4. They were moving up. But their talent tree now has skyrocketed them past a bunch of tanks. Their talent tree is going to be phenomenal. It was well designed. There's a lot of good stuff in the talent tree. Everything kind of synergizes together. It's really nice. Their tier set is just cool. Revenge grants you Vanguard Determination, increasing your damage done and reducing the damage you take by 4% for 5 seconds. Drain Determination, gain Ignore Pain equal to 10% of the damage you deal. So self-healing and some more damage on a Prop Warrior that's going to do a ton of damage right now anyway. They're just based on all the abilities you can get and all the stacking stuff and how everything kind of works together with Thunderclap, and it improves your Thunderclap, and this will help gain a bonus on another item. It's just going to be very good. This is going to be one of the best tanks to play if they don't change much. It's in a very good spot right now. Very good. They are, they're doing well. They are doing well. It's going to be a lot of fun to play this. Definitely going to be a lot of fun to play. They are, it's going to be a blast playing Prot Warrior. I'm not going to main it personally, but I could see why people would be maining this for sure. It is, yeah, it's gonna be fun. Unfortunately, one of my weapons isn't working, so I can't really show because I can't attack with one of the buttons, as it's not recognizing one of the weapons right now, but that could be just like a small little error. But anyways, they are in a great spot. I would say they're going S tier. It's just whether they're going to be better than Demon Hunter or not. I'm kind of biased a little bit. Try not to be, but I really enjoy Demon Hunter. So I'm going to put them S tier and I'm going to put them behind. That might be my bias playing, but that's where they're going. They're going S tier for sure. They're going to be a ton. If you're looking to pick up a tank, try Prot Warrior. It's going to be really good. And you can, your battle stance can change too. So you can actually swap in and out of battle stances every 3 seconds for defensive and offensive. So yeah, it's going to be a blast. And last but not least, Guardian Druid. I played a ton of this during season 2 and 3. I was in between this and my VDH for most of Shadowlands. But bad news. Bad news. Their tier set is abysmal. It's not in a their tier set is bad. That's bad. Gore has a 5% chance to trigger. Gore also increases Mangle's damage by 10%. Mangle and Thrash deal 5% increased damage. Mangle heals you for 100% of the damage it deals. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but you never casted Mangle. They're trying to bring it back because, yeah, it was... You just... Oh, sorry, you did cast Mangle, but it was on a 10-second CD, I believe, or 6-second CD before. But it's a single target ability. Like, it didn't do much damage. Sorry, it just doesn't do a ton. And for all the damage it does, ooh, I just healed myself for 1500. Yeehaw! Like, it's all sorts of not great. Like, you can see the initial hit just of Moonfire does half its damage. Now it just critted for the same amount. Like, it's... Yeah, the tier set sucks. Just to be honest, the talent tree, they're trying to make it so you're gonna play, and this is where it got nerfed. It was doing obscene amounts of damage for arcane damage, so they want you to Moonfire everything, which is, it adds a little bit of gameplay to it, but it's nothing crazy. You're just adding Moonfires, and you take Twin Moon, so it puts it on 2 targets at once. But I don't know, it is not in a great spot. I will say that. Judging by the gameplay, I see what they want to do. The execution I find is lacking. Having access to sleeper is kind of cool, which is great. You can thrash and thrash and thrash, but your berserk, when you berserk with it, it's okay. Like, you start to do some decent berserks, but your berserk now is not 30 seconds, it's 15 seconds. So they nerf berserk down to half the distance or half the time it used to be, which you can still do some decent damage with sleeper during it, but yeah, the cooldowns don't exactly line up as well. I guess they're both. You can get 2 sleepers for every berserk. It's a 3-minute cooldown and a minute 5 on sleeper if you really wanted to use them both. But I don't know, it's kind of lackluster. It's not my favorite anymore. I really enjoyed Bear like itself, but they need something. They need I don't know, they need just something done. Their tier set, it really needs some help there. So hopefully they're gonna fix that. Hopefully they'll be able to bump it up a little bit or change it or do something with it. Otherwise, Bear it's not great. The talent selection, like, you almost had to run this at a certain point. Right now, it's like they nerfed it, so they're trying to get you a little bit away, but you had to run it. You do get Convoke, but if you take Convoke, you lose, Incarnation, which can't. So, yeah, it's just not great. It's not in a fantastic spot. It's not going to be a tank. I don't think I'll be looking to play on the tier set list, unfortunately. And as much as I like Bear, it's low C, maybe even D. Like, it's not good. That being said, you still can play it if you're only like you're trying to do 20s or something. It's still gonna be fine for 20s and all that. But yeah, there just needs to be something done with it. Hopefully the tier set changes a little bit and maybe it'll be a little more viable. But up until now, it's not going to be fantastic, unfortunately. But that's the bear. So our tier set or our tier list is looking like this. You got a couple good choices in VDH and Prot Warrior. BDKs are going to be good. Brewmaster Monk's going to be solid. Unfortunately, Prot Warrior and Bear, like they need some help. They need stuff. They just need some work. Hopefully that'll change come live. But if yeah, that's kind of where they're sitting right now in the PTR. It's a little bit of a gap there, but nothing crazy. So pick a tank if you're looking to start and you're looking to be one of the top ones. Hey, one of those four are going to be a great choice. If you really enjoy Guardian and Prot, there's Prot Pally, they're still going to be okay to play. They're just not going to be nearly as good as some of the other choices as of right now. But like I said, tuning is in play, so something could get way overtuned, and that could be the meta. That's always the case coming up to pre-launch. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe, deflect. Firm but fair gaming. We'll see you in the next video.